Hi there, my name is Jenniffer Powers and I'm the collections manager here at Montpelier. And today we are standing in the Madisons dining room in the main house, and we're going to talk about our brand new installation here in the dining room on the dining table. So if you visited us not too long ago, you probably saw we used to have a dessert installation. So there were different dishes and you probably noticed no tablecloth. Well, we've changed out the installation to have a dinner course, and so the whole look has changed. And so I wanted to talk to you all about today to give you a little behind the scenes on how a brand new installation comes to be. It doesn't happen overnight, and lots of planning and preparation and different circumstances go in to make an installation come to life. There's all of this beautiful porcelain here is Chinese export porcelain on the table, and the whole installation really started because we had two generous benefactors who had this set of Chinese export porcelain, and they decided to lend it to us at Montpelier. They lended it to us because it sort of has a fun Montpelier connection. The set was actually purchased in the 1950s by Marion DuPont Scott, who you may know lived here and owned Montpelier up until the 1980s at her passing. So Marion purchased this set, and it has sort of a fun Madison connection, if not Madison ownership. So the connection is the inheritance of this set. Their ancestor dined with a Mr. John Jacob Astor, who was a contemporary of the Madisons. And Mr. Astor had a dinner party and dined with the Madisons, presumably in the White House during their time there, and noticed and had purchased for them a set of Chinese export porcelain. He was big in the porcelain sort of trade, if you will, and a Mr. Forrest was also dining and remarked on how beautiful he thought the porcelain was, and decided that he had to have a set for himself. So he reached out to Mr. Astor, had a set purchased, and then this set descended to his descendants and ended up being purchased by Marion DuPont Scott. So it has sort of a fun Madison connection, has a Montpelier connection through Marion DuPont Scott, and it has an archaeological connection to Montpelier in that our wonderful team of archaeologists have found lots of different sherds of this Chinese export porcelain in this pattern. So all these great connections really made it a great opportunity to take these pieces on loan, and not to mention the fact it was wonderful enough pieces to create this dinner service here. You get the items on loan, and there's still a whole lot of work that gets to be done to prep for a new installation such as this. As an object that comes into the collection, even one that's on loan, still has to get cataloged because we want to make sure that we're taking care of these pieces, and we want to know where pieces are. So everything here on this dining room table has a number and has been accounted for and has its location sort of tagged with it so that we know exactly where all the pieces in our collection are. So these pieces have been cataloged, and locations have been tied, and everything that used to be on the dining room table also is cataloged, and their locations have changed. So we have lots of spreadsheets that happen behind the scenes where we get to track all of the location information, because it's super important for us to be able to track our objects so that at any given time we know where things are. So in addition to cataloging and prepping and changing locations, we're making plans behind the scenes to prep for an installation. So different things go into prepping for an installation in terms of the logistics. We make sure that we have all the supplies that we might need for a new installation, even simple things like the table linens or the napkins, and then other things behind the scenes such as tags for writing numbers or protective layers of mylar, which is a type of plastic that works good for giving proper conservation barriers. So all these little things go into behind the scenes to make an installation like this happen. All this behind the scenes work makes it happen so that we can have this beautiful new installation here in the dining room here at Montpelier.